Have you guys ever wondered, of the default tactics, which is the best? Because I know I have. Today we're going to be testing all of those tactics out and seeing which is the best. For all of the tactics we are going to go through one by one and use the default instructions and the default mentality and of course the default formation, the one that they suggest is the best for that tactic, then leaving all of the players' instructions the exact same as how they are. We are going to be using this Arsenal lineup for every single match. No player will be taken out. There will be no subs made unless I have to because of an injury, and if we get a red card in the game we will repeat it just to keep it all fair. I know that there's familiarity and the fact that a lot of the players can be more suitable in the role than others, and I know that that comes into play, but overall I feel like this is the fairest way to get it done. And I'm going to just save and quit each of the games against Chelsea and come back so that we're versing the exact same squad with the exact same players but just using a different tactic. We're going to start it off right now by using the control position, and then we're going to use the gegenpress, the tiki-taka, the vertical tiki-taka, the wing play, the route one, the fluid counter-attack, direct counter-attack. I have no idea how you even say that one. Never seen that one being used. Park the bus, and that is all of them. We're going to see which is the best based off the scoreline against this Chelsea side and decide once and for all what is the best tactic in Football Manager. A surprise to start us off, but a very welcome one. The control possession tactic has managed to get a 3-0 win for Arsenal. We'll also be recording the possession and the shots as well as shots on target to see which one overall gives you the best sort of play depending on how you want to play this game. 3-0 was very surprising and it's a strong start, and straight off the bat this is going to be one of the tactics to beat. Next up is the gegenpress, or the gegenpress. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, but it is a tactic that people are using a lot this year. It is known to be quite overpowered, and we're going to see if it is actually as powerful as they all say it is. I can confirm that yes, the gegenpress is as good as everyone says it was. 6-1 against the Chelsea lineup, 27 shots, 18 on target, only 40% possession, so not the one that you want to go with if your club vision is to play possession football. But obviously if it gets results like that, can you really complain? I just thought I'd quickly say that the Chelsea lineup is staying consistent because I have saved it just before the match, so there is no changes to the Chelsea lineup happening either, just to keep this all as fair as possible. Let's go straight on to the next tactic. And that tactic is the tiki-taka. Before we jump into taking a look at that tactic, I just wanted to say make sure that you like and subscribe if you're enjoying the video. We have got a really good series on this channel called the Rebuilding Brighton series. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that if you check it out. That will be in the eye above. Let's jump straight back into the tactical analysis. This is the tiki-taka. I hope you guys don't mind that we are actually going to be moving around the midfielders and defenders, and that will happen a lot more recently. So that's just switching them across like that, but we don't need to for this one. But that's just to keep them a little bit more familiar. But I don't feel like that's switching it up too much, and I think it's still a fair test. Undoubtedly the worst of the tactics so far. We won, but only just 13 shots to their 13. 53% possession. It was very close, and overall, on paper, that should have been a draw. So hopefully with the next tactic, which is the tiki-taka's little brother, I like to call him, the vertical tiki-taka, we can get back to a little bit more of the solid winning ways. Here is the tiki-taka's little brother, vertical tiki-taka. We have switched around Ozil and Ceballos and David Luiz and Pastatopoulos, so I hope that you don't mind that. I hope that that doesn't ruin the experiment for you guys, but in my opinion there is really no difference. It's just adjusting the instructions to keep it a little bit more realistic to what those players would want to play. The first loss has arrived, and you have to say it does look a little bit undeserved. On the stats overall we did do better, but Chelsea have come away with all 3 points, a 4-3 win, and that is certainly the front runner to be one of the worst tactics as things stand. We are now getting into the pretty unfamiliar territory for me. I don't know if I've used any of these tactics all the way down here, and wing play is the first of those. Looks like a pretty good setup, and overall I think we could do pretty well with this, but it is time to test it out and see how it does against the Chelsea 11. quickly back to winning ways with another 3-0 win up against this Chelsea side. 11 shots to their 5, only 37% possession. That is certainly the lowest we have seen so far. We're going to kick straight on to the next one, and I think these are coming into the more defensive sort of setup. Route 1, also known as the Sunday League method. You will see people using this a lot in amateur football, and it works very well, pretty effective. 4-4-2, pretty similar to the wing play method, but we will have to see if it gets the same result. Unfortunately, Route 1 cannot get the same results as the similar system wing play. A 3-2 loss to Arsenal and it is probably a little bit flattering that they even got 2 goals in that game, 10 shots to the 22, really low possession, even worse than wing play. We will have to see if we can do any better in the last few tactics. It is time for Fluid Counter-Attack to step up to the plate and see if they can do anything up against this Chelsea 11. A dull affair, but a pretty even one overall. 13 shots each, but a 0-0 result, and certainly the blandest tactic that we've tried out so far. Hopefully, direct counter-attack can do a little bit better than fluid counter-attack. It cannot. Certainly the worst tactic that we've seen so far. 3-0 loss. No chance at all. 32% possession. 9 shots to their 16. Let's move straight on to the next one. Alright, I'm making an exception for this one. There's 5 at the back and I can't really justify playing Martinelli in centre-back, so I've brought Mustafi on. But to be realistic, I don't know if Mustafi will do much better of a job than Martinelli would have in defence, so it might not make much of a difference anyway. Just in case you were wondering, I'm not actually doing anything in the team talks just to keep it fair. And sorry, I forgot to say before, this is the Catenaccio tactic. Definitely butchered that pronunciation, but I'm not expecting it to be a very good tactic either way. My prediction was correct, a pretty terrible tactic, but I'm happy that overall it did a little bit better than direct counter-attack because I can't actually pronounce the name of this one. The final tactic is Park the Bus. If you guys have made it all the way to the end of the episode, thank you guys so much for watching it. We are about to find out the results and what is the best and which is the worst tactic, but we need to finish it off with this one. Park the Bus actually doing a little bit better than I thought it would. Overall, if you take a look at the match stats, that probably should have been a draw, but we do end up losing 2-0 to Chelsea to finish it off. We have seen some great tactics and some bad tactics, but it is time to look at the results. The results are in, and all of the games have been analysed critically by a supercomputer, which is a bit of scrap paper next to me. And I can say that the tactic that gives you the most possession is, of course, control possession. It gave us 61% possession, and it ended up playing quite well, got us a 3-0 win. Very good, pretty good tactic overall. The least possession ended up being direct counter-attack, with only 32% possession, a very poor tactic, and it didn't lead to much joy in the game either. A 3-0 loss, pretty poor stuff. The tactic with the most shots for is, of course, the Gegenpress, with 27 shots and ending up getting a 6-1 win, a very good tactic as we all know. And the tactic with the most shots against was, in fact, Route 1, 22 shots against and 10-2. Ended up losing 2-3, not the worst tactic ever, but it did end up getting a lot of pressure put on them. The most prolific tactic. This is the tactic that had the most shots per goal ratio, and that is, surprisingly, the wing play system. It took 3.66 shots to get every goal, and that is the best by quite a while, and it ended up getting a 3-0 win, which was pretty surprising. Not a tactic that I think would do as well as that. And now we are on to the worst tactic, and unfortunately it is the direct counter-attack. I haven't used it personally in Football Manager. If you have and have had success with it, please let me know. But it did end up losing 3-0 to the Chelsea 11, and that is the worst result that we saw on the day in this experiment. And the best tactic, we all know what it is. At the end of the day, there was only going to be one winner, and it is the Gegenpress. It ended up winning 6-1, a margin of 5 goals 27 shots to their 7, 18 shots on target to their 4, only 40% possession, but ended up being a very good tactic. I thought I'd just chuck in the dirtiest tactic was actually Route 1 as well. 14 fouls to 5. And that was the most by a fair margin as well. If you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure that you thumbs up and subscribe. If you did enjoy it, please let me know in the comments, because this is my first experiment style video that I've made on this channel. If you want me to, I can make a tier list of all of the tactics in Football Manager to give you my opinion after this experiment. Until next time, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all later.